Aloha. I am here to talk to you about my crazy ponytail. Talk to you about promoting daily on your Instagram. Thoughts, feelings, etc. If you're catching in on the replay, let me know. Replay in the comments, and this ponytail isn't working. And if maybe skip ahead 30 seconds until I start talking about something. And if you're here live, hello Ashley, you've just joined us. Let's dive on in. Okay, so my first question is, how does the idea of promoting every day on your Instagram make you feel? Because what I noticed is, for a lot of people, it made them feel like sick, like terrible. And I've asked this question a few times lately, and I'll ask it here again. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing, how do you feel about promoting every day on your Instagram? Like, how does it actually make you feel? Does it make you feel good, terrible, excited? Let me know. And my second question is, how do you feel about how much you currently promote on your Instagram? It's good. Is it not enough? Do people not know what you do? For so many people, I either see they're promoting in a way that's not super eye-catching, that doesn't have a clear call to action, or they're just not promoting anywhere near enough. And I feel like most people are like, what is it that you do exactly? And keeping that really clear, and also being able to communicate it in the way that people care about what you're saying, like the points that they actually care about. So for example, if you were in the health niche, what are the specifics that people care about when it comes to health? Maybe it's waking up with more energy. Maybe it's being able to work out every day. I don't know. But really thinking about going into more of the specifics. So there is so many things I wanted to talk about today, but this felt really relevant as I'm promoting my workshop at the moment. And you would have noticed maybe that I'm promoting my workshop pretty much every day, and there is a reason for this. It's because, hi my loves, it's because it's important. It's because people aren't seeing what you promote the first time you promote it. They may be half looking, maybe they're half talking to their kids, maybe they're half doing something else, maybe they're just swiping past that day, and then maybe 3 days later or 4 days later they see it and they're like, oh, now I know I need that, now I know I want that workshop. And that's the point of promoting multiple times. So first, I really feel like there's a mindset to it. There's a mindset that comes to promoting every day. So now that there's a few people here, let me know in the comments, how do you feel about promoting every day? Like, excited, nervous, do you feel annoying? Like, what is that word or feeling that comes up for you? Let me know. So I first feel like there's a mindset to it. For me, it took me a long time to get over, and I noticed how much, and this is really important, that I talked myself out of promoting. I'd be like, well, not today. Like, maybe it's a bit annoying. Oh, not today because of this. But the truth is, they're all stories, really. And when we find them and can work through what's actually truly underneath, we get closer to what's going on. So I think that's really important. And actually doing the proper inner work to what's going on around why we don't want to promote is really important. A bit hard to do it when we're like this though. Yay, my love, so glad this is landing. And then there's that feeling of like, there's obviously the how part to it as well. But first, I think we have to tackle the mindset and the feelings of what's underneath. Hello, my love, when we are not wanting to promote all the time. And by the way, I don't think it always has to be like such big promotions. I think there's this idea that every time we promote, it has to be like this big deal. Sometimes it could be more subtle. Sometimes it might just be inviting people to DM you a word, all types of things. So if you have any questions on it, let me know. But whilst we're here, I just wanted to actually give you as much as I could in this short little time we're spending together. So number one is your stories, like actually promoting on your stories. Oh my gosh. So this is a mixture of things. It could be polls, it could be actual slides talking about your offer. and really analyze yourself for a second. Take a second to audit yourself. And maybe even share with me in the comments, this would be quite funny, how many times you promoted yourself on your stories in the last 7 days? How many times you promoted your business on your stories in the last 7 days? And this is such an interesting thing to reflect on, because when you start to think about, oh shit, I've only shared myself once in the last 7 days, promoted myself once, or whatever, you start to see where your cracks are. So I actually track all of this, because then I can see what I'm doing and not doing. So your stories could be a mixture, yeah, like I said, polls, the actual slides where you're fully promoting what it is. Remember to include your call to action at the end. It could be asking people to DM you the word. It could be a various amount of things that how you're promoting on your stories. And there's a lot that kind of works in with this, because I call it part of your ecosystem. But your stories is pretty much the main place you want to be promoting what you do. The other cool one that I really want to share though is about your feed. So underestimated. I don't think people promote as much on their feed anymore. And for a little bit there, it was like not okay. People didn't want to see a lot of promoting on their feed. However, you're here with me because I like to tell you when things are changing in the IG world, and things are changing. It is becoming more okay to promote on your feed. How cool is that? Let me know if you think that's very cool, because I think that's very cool. So your feed is becoming a place again where you can promote, but just don't overdo it. So if you're gonna promote on your feed, maybe think about doing it like once a week max, depending on how much you're posting, or maybe once a fortnight. But you can also be gently promoting through your feed posts. So what would that look like? One is doing lives, like right now. If you want to join my branding workshop, comment or DM me the word brand after this and I'll send you the details. So I'll do that a lot throughout my lives, because it helps people who are here be like, I'm curious about this. I'm curious about what that is. One of my favorites, which I'm going to talk more about actually in the Build a Brand workshop, is PS selling on your feed. So this just means you have a post and at the end of it, you're like, PS, buy my thing. Don't literally say it like that. There's a way to do it. Yay, honey. I'd love to send you more details. I'll send you both more details right after this. And see, like right there, right? I gave the example. I'm just gonna screenshot. I gave the example of like branding and promoting during a live and two people just did the thing. Like, this is such a cool example for you guys, because I think that we underestimate our selling potential. And if you know what you're doing is good, like I have the answer to most likely what your problem is right now. So it would be such a disservice, and I say this all the time, for me not to sell you my thing, because I know I have the answer to your current problems, and you guys have the answer to your clients' current problems. Buy my thing. I'm glad you found that entertaining. So yeah, when you're PS selling, keeping it a bit more like PS, if you want to know more about how to blah, comment the word blah. Yeah, I'll teach it more in the thing. Amazing. So that's that part. Any questions? Let me know. Oh, thanks, AJ. That's so cool. Yay, I love you. So the other question I get a lot around promoting is how often? How often on your feed, how often on your stories, how often overall? So obviously I've kind of said, I've already spoken to this. There's something else I want to say around it. I want to really remind you that people aren't seeing everything you do. Yeah? People aren't paying attention to everything you post. Even think about right now, the few of you who have interacted on here, we haven't really all interacted together before. We haven't chatted in DMs very much, I don't think. So there's so many touch points. Yeah, so this is why I talk about posting every day, being on your stories every day, promoting every day, going live multiple times. I've gone live 3 times this week, and each live has been totally different people. How cool is that? So go live, guys, promote live. And just keep going. I think we underestimate too, like, the impact we are making and how close we are getting. I just did this card pull actually on my TikTok with these, and I did a February card pull. And the main thing I talked about is, you know that meme? And there's this guy and he's like chinking away, trying to find the gold, and he's like down the tunnel and he's like chipping away at it. And one guy decides to leave and he's like, I'm done, I'm out. And the next guy just does two more. It's like the oldest cliche in the book. Two more like chinks away at it and he finds all the gold. That's you guys. That's you guys when it comes to promoting. We feel like we want to slow down or we want to stop right before we're about to break through. And maybe the breakthrough takes a little bit longer. But I think all good brands who do this built themselves up over a long period of time and finding out what's working and not working. So very important. Another cool thing is, the last thing I'll say is, I got a message this morning, DM, and someone did a pre-recorded workshop I ran, which was called Insta Stories to DM Sales. If you guys want that one too, let me know. Maybe chuck the word sales down the bottom and I'll send you that one. Sales is the word. And it talks about selling in your DMs, right? And she messaged me and she was like, oh my gosh, I just finished the training. The craziest thing happened, that I realized while I was watching the training that you did to me, amazing love, I'll send it to you after this, that exactly what you did to me is what you spoke about in the training, and it worked because she purchased the workshop, right? So what's really interesting is she had this feeling that, amazing, I'll send you both the sales workshop, how exciting. She had this feeling that, oh, I can't do it like that. Amazing, Katie, I'll send it for you as well. I can't do it like that, or hold on, just trying to send a screenshot. Or trying to take a screenshot, or I can't do it like that, or like that would be an icky or funny way to sell. And then she realized that I had sold to her in that exact way and she loved it. And she kind of had this real aha moment. Amazing love, I'll send it to you as well. She had this real aha moment of like, oh, I can be selling in that way. So she really learned a lot about selling on socials in that moment. And I think in ways that was really underestimated as well. Yes. So no one's told me yet. How many times have you guys promoted on your Instagram in the last 7 days? I'm super curious. I'd love to know. I think it'd be really interesting. If you're watching the replay, let me know. I'd love questions where we get to audit ourselves, where we get to self-reflect, because I think that this is where we see a lot of our things we're doing well or not well, and we get to either call ourselves forward on it, or we get to be like, oh, this is working really cool, I'm amazing. Yeah. Only once. Yes. So imagine you're following, yeah, and they're like, oh, what does this person do? And they're looking, and they're like, see it once. So imagine someone you're following, and notice how much you notice every one of their story posts. Like maybe someone you're absolutely obsessed with, you'll read every story post, but they're most likely not going to, right? So the percentage of people who would see you promote once in the last 7 days is so small. So small. It's like tiny. Yeah, you also shared, I'm a shocker with social media. Not after the workshop, my love. And the thing is, social media is our businesses. I said this in a live the other day. We do not have a business without a good social media in the way the world stands right now. Yes, we can have referrals and all these other amazing things, but your content game is where it's at. Your brand has never been more important than it is right now. Anyway, my loves, this is it from me. I think this is long enough. Let me know if you have any questions about promoting, and chuck them below before I jump off. If you're listening to the replay, I love you too. And let me know if you have any questions or you have some takeaways that you'd love to share. I'm trying to make these lives super juicy and delicious and full of so much value. Once I get in the flow, I never want to leave. I get started and I'm like, What am I going to talk about for 10 minutes? Oh, also guys, go live. Go live. It's so much easier than you think. And it's really fun. And it gets better and better and better every time you do it. Love you guys. For those who shared that they wanted the workshop details, the branding and the sales one, I will send you both now. I love you guys so much.